I have no idea. I have no idea how many pieces of shit I have reviewed. Plenty, lots. Between 15 and 20, first on my CNET blog and now on my YouTube channel. But today it's all about the Schiit Jotunheim 2. It's the updated version of the original, which came out in 2016, I think, late 2016. I reviewed it originally in 2017. But in any case, it's back. And it's really good. Well, first of all, what is it you're thinking? What is the Jotunheim 2? Well, it's a fully balanced headphone amplifier. A very powerful one, actually. It's a 6 watt per channel into 32 ohm over the balance connection headphone amplifier. That's really powerful. I mean, I can't think of another headphone amplifier that's got that much juice for the price, which is, by the way, $400. Well, $400 in its most basic configuration, because at $400 it's just a headphone amplifier. You add another $100 for a DAC module, the AK DAC. That adds $100. If you go for the multi-bit DAC, it adds $200. And that's the way I reviewed it, with the multi-bit DAC. But wait, there's more. There's also a phono preamp, a moving magnet phono preamp that is $100. So, but you can only get one of those modules to fit in the Jotunheim 2. So your choice, one of those 2 DACs or the moving magnet phono stage. So let's look at the back panel. Maybe that'll clarify what I'm talking about here. If you get the module, that's input 1, and then a second input is the RCA inputs, the unbalanced, and then the third is the XLR balanced input. So 3 inputs, 3, count them 3. Plus, of course, on the front panel are the outputs, the balanced 4-pin XLR connector or the 6.3 millimeter headphone jack. And there's also switches on the front panel. The one on the right is the switch between using it as a preamplifier, meaning sending signals out to powered speakers or powered amplifier, or you switch it down and then you don't have a signal going to the preamplifier outputs. Got it? I hope so. In any case, well, it's very powerful, as I said, and you might be wondering, where does all that power come from? Well, there's a big, very healthy power transformer on the inside. Well, let's take a look on the inside. So there's no wall wart. That's nice, because you might expect for a small component like this that might just have a off-the-shelf wall wart. Not this one. This one has a very dedicated power supply. That's nice. So the DACs, by the way, either one of the DACs, the AK DAC or the multi-bit DAC, they're PCM only, no DSD, no MQA, none of that fancy stuff. They just make good sound. Oh, other particulars, let's see, it comes with a 5-year warranty and it comes in a silver or matte black finish. It is at its core a headphone amplifier, and I pulled out one of the best headphones I have here, the Abyss Diana-Fi. It's a $4,000 planar magnetic headphone, made in New York State, by the way. And yikes, it sounded really, really good. Now it's a high resolving headphone. Any problems, any crap in the signal, it's going to reveal it. And yet, this little headphone amplifier sounded really good, clean, pure. No grain, no harshness, very easy to listen to. All the boxes were being checked, no doubt about it. So I pulled out the original Jotunheim to do some comparisons, and well, yeah, the new one is definitely a high-resolution device. It's cleaner, it's more open, it sounds more powerful. I don't mean in how loud it can play, I mean it just sounds more, like it has more grunt, a little more weight to it. I should clarify right now that the new Jotunheim, the Jotunheim 2, had a different DAC module than the original that I have here. So when I'm comparing, I'm not just comparing Jotunheim to Jotunheim, I'm actually comparing the older DAC to this new multi-bit DAC. So it's not an apples to apples comparison. But be that as it may, the new one definitely sounded better. For one other comparison, with electronics at least, I pulled out a Mytek Brooklyn DAC Plus. It's a much more expensive headphone amplifier / DAC. It's about $2,000. And you know what? I can't say decisively that the Mytek just clobbered the Schiit or vice versa. They sounded different from each other, but I wouldn't say that one was clearly better than the other. So I would just call it a tie. I think the Schiit had a little more meat on the bones to the sound. I think the Mytek maybe had a bigger stage. Nothing gigantic going on. They sounded different, but it was like kind of a who cares kind of difference. Oh, I didn't mention, by the way, that the Jotunheim is made in California, and most of the parts are sourced locally or certainly in the United States. Okay, so to continue, I pulled out a Grado headphone, the Grado Hemp headphone. Yeah, say that 3 times fast. Yeah, this headphone sort of marks a departure from what I think of as the classic Grado sound. It's warmer sounding. It's a fuller sounding headphone. It has the flat ear pads that I really like, but still extremely open. And while some Grado headphones can sound bright and aggressive, this one doesn't. And certainly not with the Jotunheim 2. It was sweet, beautiful sounding, great tone. Also, it almost made it sound like a tube headphone amplifier. That kind of, the stereotypical tube sound, just fuller, richer, rounder. So in contrast to that, I pulled out a Beyerdynamic DT880, the 600 ohm variant of that design. Now, by the way, the Grado is a 32 ohm headphone, super easy to drive. The 880 600 ohm is tougher, but with all that power on tap, the Jotunheim just sailed right through. It was like butter, it just went straight through. And again, some people say that the Beyers can have a bit of high frequency zip to them. Not this time. No, it was smooth, sweet, pretty. Not as open sounding as the Grado, but really, really nice. I haven't worn those DT880s in ages, and I forgot how good they are and how comfortable they are. Oh, they're so great. Much more comfortable than the Grados by far. And those velvety ear pads, really, really nice. Yeah, I was playing tunes. I was listening to Radiohead and the Replacements, rocking out a bit, and the 880s were just, really, really nice. So back in the land of resolution, I pulled out the Hi-Fi Man Sundara, a planar magnetic, far more transparent than the Grado or the Beyerdynamic, and yes, very comfortable. I love that headphone, and it's also around the same price. I believe it's $400, maybe it's $500 for the Sundara. I'll put the price right down here. But in any case, great sound. Beautiful match to the Jotunheim 2. If you're into maximum resolution and you don't have a lot of money to spend, I think the Sundara is definitely the way to go. And one more contrast of headphones, the AKG 812. Now, when this headphone came out, it's a very high-end headphone from them. It was marketed originally as a pro headphone. It wasn't even offered to consumers at all. It's a very neutral, very accurate sounding headphone, which isn't usually my bag, but Juliana Barwick's Circumstance Synthesis album with choirs and just lush arrangements, really, really beautiful recording. And over the K812, it was one of those everywhere kind of sound, big stage, focus, very, very precise sound, and comfort. I'm kind of hung up with comfort of headphones, because if it isn't really comfortable, it's, no matter how good it sounds, it's kind of like, I'll move on, right? But no, these are fantastic sounding headphones. I'm going to turn a page here, so to speak, and tell you how it worked in the system paired with a First Watt F8 power amplifier and Dyne Audio Heritage Special speakers. It's a new model. It's actually a limited edition model, and I'm going to have a review of it coming up shortly. But I will tell you, spoiler alert, it is really, really good. This is, I'll put it again this way. It is the best sounding Dyne Audio speaker I have ever heard in this room. I've heard them, in other places, far more expensive ones. But in terms of the models that I've had here, the Dyne Audio Heritage Special is scary good. So anyway, sure, using it as a preamp, Well, I think it sounded really good, no problem. It was a nice match. Now, it doesn't have a remote control, which might be a deal breaker for some of you. But if you're a headphone-oriented audiophile, and you just, speakers are not your main thing, it might be a good way to go because it's a really nice preamp and it's a killer sounding headphone amplifier. So it kind of covers those bases in that way. So it's not for everybody, but if you're that type, it might be exactly what you're looking for, without breaking the bank. So even with the better DAC, the multi-bit DAC, it's $599. That's pretty cool. So there you have it. The Schiit Jotunheim 2, is one of those products that it would be hard to duplicate all the things it does well in something else that would be $400, $500, $600, depending on the options, right? I think it's really, really good. I thought the original Jotunheim was good. I think this is a step up. My name is Steve Guttenberg. This is the Audiophiliac Daily Show. If you like this video that you just watched, would you consider subscribing to this YouTube channel? Please do. And when you do, hit that little notification bell icon so you'll be notified every time there's an incredible new episode. There's 4 episodes a week, pretty much one every other day. The other thing you can do is check out the Patreon, which can be found at patreon.com/audiophiliac, and there's a link to that directly below in the description. What else we got? We got playlists. We have playlists for headphone reviews and speaker reviews and electronics reviews and, of course, music reviews, plus interviews. So many interviews with audiophiles and famous people in the audio business, all here, all for you. I think I can say, at last, my work here is complete. So thank you again for watching, and I really, really do hope to see you back here again very, very soon. Bye-bye.